Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad. Good morning to you. How are you?
Gabriel Fluffy Iglesias.
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What looking to talk to me, funny lad.
Grammy Award winner Maya joins us.
How are you?
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
She will be going for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 40, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, and she is also the author of Becky Lynch, the Man, Not Your Average Girl, and she's joining us right now. Becky, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Now, look, let's get right into WrestleMania 40. This is the biggest WrestleMania of all time. We are breaking records. You're selling buildings out every single week. You're going up against Rhea Ripley. Two things on this. First, how do you feel about your opponent? And second, I'm hearing that you want to open the show this year. You want to kick off the festivities. Is that still on your list there? You want to open WrestleMania? And what do you think of your opponent?
Yeah, I've never gotten to open WrestleMania. Well, I was on the kickoff show, but we don't count that. That doesn't count. I haven't opened the main show. And the first match is my favorite match, right? It sets the tone for the night. The crowd is hyped. They're energetic. This is the first thing they're going to see. They've just come in. They see the stage, and we set the stage. And unfortunately for everybody else, we're going to steal the show. So it's all downhill after that. But anyway, how do I feel about my opponent? Don't like her. Don't like her. She's great in the ring. She's fabulous. She has so much finesse, but we never see it because she never wrestles on Raw. No, she's too busy politicking backstage, flirting with Dominic, doing little errands for the Judgment Day. This is her champion. What are you doing? Why can't you be out there fighting? And she says, all I need to do is post a picture for people to give me attention. But give me attention. I want attention. All she's looking for is my attention. Why is she looking for my attention? She's the champion. I ain't looking for her attention. So that makes me feel like I'm already, in her mind, the champion because she needs my attention. I don't need her attention.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because in your book, you talk about your training early on in your career. You're learning the business, learning the ropes, quite literally. Fergal Devitt, also known as Finn Balor, was one of your original trainers. How do you feel about his alliance with now kind of your sworn enemy, Rhea Ripley?
That's the thing, isn't it? We haven't touched on that. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, it's not just Fergal. It's not just Finn Balor that I go back 22 years with. 22 years of a friendship. It's not just Finn Balor. It's also JD. I remember him on his first day of training. I remember he couldn't even hit the top rope. He was only 12 years old. He came in. We all loved him. And so I go back 22 years with both of them. How long has the Judgment Day been around? 2 years, the most. Half the time they're fighting with each other. Well, we've been friends for 22 years. If it comes down to it, are those guys going to bleed purple or are they going to bleed green?
Well, you know what? We'll have to see what happens there. Now, when you talk about opening a show, I do have to ask you this. My match of the year, 2023, without a shadow of a doubt, Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch, cage match at Payback, opening the show and really having a follow that mentality. Was that y'all's mindset going into it of we're going to set the bar so high, every cage match is going to be compared to this one from now on, and every match that follows us on the show is going to have a hard time?
Absolutely. That's yes. Yes, 100%. And that's often my mindset. But I think we had a little bit of a chip on our shoulders because, we wanted to be on SummerSlam and we weren't, and there wasn't room for it, and that was fine. But we made sure that when we got to Payback, we were going to steal that damn show.
Well, and steal the show you did. Now, also, you're stealing the minds of readers all over the world right now with your book. Your book, I've gotten to start it, and I really love it so far. I mean, I love how detailed you are, even when you're talking about something as mundane as a protein shake. I'm enthralled by the writing of it. You can tell that you took a lot of time thinking about the words. I know you took a writing course. It was like a 4-hour course once a week. To me, can you talk to me about your writing process, though? Did you have to schedule time to sit down? Did you wait for it to kind of come to you? How did that work for you in this manuscript?
So a little bit of both, like because it was a long process, but at the end of it, the part that you're seeing, it felt like a very short, cramped process. That was about 5 weeks, and most of that was when I was doing my run in NXT. So I was on planes, I was on red eyes, just writing, and then I would land, I would sleep for a couple of hours, go to NXT, I'd come back to the hotel, write, be on a flight early the next morning, write the whole way to LA. And then that kind of became my process. Like I would borrow time from wherever I could. So I would be backstage just writing. I would be at TV writing. I'd be at the playground writing. Where I'd be watching a movie writing. So like I didn't need a space. I didn't need time. I just needed a laptop in front of me. And I actually kind of liked the noise around me. Like you might hear something or something would spark something, but it felt like I was very in my own world, but within the world. I think actually if I was just sitting alone in a room, I might have a tendency to get more distracted than I was at like a kids museum with a million people running around. I don't know why. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, you thrived in the chaos. It helped breathe the comedy.
Yeah, that's it. I thrived in the chaos. That's how you survive in WWE. You have to thrive in the chaos.
You have to.
It. You nailed it.
Now, let me ask you this, and you're being gracious with your time. So I just want to ask this, though, because my Aunt Debbie, longtime flight attendant, right, for Southwest Airlines, 30 plus years she's been doing this. She said to me one time, the thing that's the hardest about the job is no matter how I feel that morning, I have to put on the uniform and I have to be nice and smile at every passenger. And she says she learned how to handle her emotions better with this job. Let me ask you, did you have a similar experience? And did you learn a lesson that is applicable to your career as a WWE superstar?
Yeah, I probably learned it and forgot it actually, because that was the thing. It was always smiling and everything's fine and everything's great. And even in the book, when I finished being a flight attendant and I went back to acting school and I was doing an exercise and I just kept smiling. And the acting coach was like, stop smiling. You're always smiling. Stop that. And I was like, no, I'm just a smiler. I'm just a smiler. That's how I always have been. And he was like, no, you're not. That's a learned habit. Get rid of it. So I got rid of it. And now I come into wrestling and I'm a ball of energy and emotion and could sometimes use that flight attendant training to straight face everything's fine.
Well, you know what? I'm excited for the smile. The smile's here now, but the smile's not going to be here at WrestleMania because Game Face is going to be on against Rhea Ripley. We want to see you walk away with that Women's World Championship like you've done before on the grandest stage of them all, and we really appreciate you taking the time. Once I finish this, I'd love to talk to you more.
Thank you so much.